Okay. I wonder if I should make the music go just a little bit longer.
Yes.
I think
Because it's
we
fun.
should do it every time. We should just be rocking out to it with the beat.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Denise and I we'll be at Grooms, we're going to actually come up with like a calendar or topics that we want to talk about.
I asked you if you did because I started playing around with Claude today or yesterday, and oh my God, I'm in love with it. So
It's
I was gonna
so
I was
intense,
gonna
isn't it?
design
It's
you.
intense.
I was gonna design you a topic calendar because I'm like, I want to play around with this more.
Well, it's not what we're going to talk about today. I've also switched over to Claude, and I am
I
so
love it.
so much more impressed than with ChatGPT.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, they do different things.
Yeah, but you know what? What I need it for is like social media stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. Claude does a way better job of it.
Mhm.
And what I really like about Claude is that they'll create an image for me and they'll be like a typo or the words are running together. And I'm like, fix that. And they go like, oh, I see the problem. And they fix it.
You know, I saw a video the other day that Claude baby alive. Claude baby sentient. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well,
so be nice to him and say thank you when you're done with your session.
I typically do. I'm very polite. I'm very polite. I say, can you fix this, please? Or if it'll say, do you want to do this? I say, yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm always polite.
Using a bot, I thank them for their time.
Yep.
All right, so that's not actually why we're here.
Oh, sorry. Off subject.
Whatever. It's a tool.
It is. I love it.
Now, the only thing since I moved away from ChatGPT, what they do recommend is that you get your downloads. So I requested my downloads, and then they weren't sending them to me. They're supposed to take a while. I don't know. So I'm like, the hell with this. I'm not waiting for it. So the renewal for chat was coming due on the 7th of the month. I'm like, I'm not paying for another month. I'm not using it. So I requested to cancel it. And it's like, would you like another month free? And I'm like,
I did too. I did too.
I would like another month free. And maybe you can give me my downloads so that I can delete everything and cancel. So, we shall see. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about, so this is more businessy, and I'll tell you how I handle it when I was still running a mobile grooming business, and I would like to hear what your takes are on this. All right. So sometimes, and it really, what prompted this is that there was a post on Facebook, and what it is that she's got clients who are spreading out the grooms right now because they're afraid of the economy at the moment. Okay, right. Fully understand that. So when I was still mobile, that was not an issue. However, what was an issue was that I had a lot of clients who were pregnant. Okay. So what would happen is that they would normally take very, very good care of their pets. Right. But, they're either super pregnant or they just had a baby. Now they're not getting any sleep. And that's taken a back seat. And I would call it various different things depending on the client. Right. It was because you don't want them to make them feel bad for giving me this dog in this terrible shape. And so I'm like, you know what? We can do, you just had a baby and you're exhausted clip. Would you like that? Or if it was before they were pregnant, before they gave birth, it was like, you're about to have a baby. You're not going to get any sleep. Cut.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Or it was, can I take something off your plate clip? Okay. So it was something that was a little bit, it wasn't judgmental. It's really right. And I think especially when we have really good clients, they feel bad. All right. Part of it feels like they're neglecting their pet. Right? Part of it is they feel like you're going to be disappointed in them. that you're going to think that they're not good pet
There's
parents.
a huge amount of guilt because that was their
Mhm.
baby, and now they have a human baby, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
Or the other thing is that, you know what, they can't afford to do the grooming, or they're fearful of the future for whatever the reason is. They got to cut back somewhere. And you know what? Instead of doing a 4-week groom, maybe we do a 6 or an 8-week groom. Or maybe we're at 6 weeks and we go 8, 10 weeks.
Mhm.
Okay. So that really is going to necessitate a shorter clip,
Mhm.
right? So I think it's all in how you phrase it to the client. Okay. So we'll start with Denise. How would you phrase that to your clients so that they're not having like a specific cut that takes away the guilt?
Oh, so typically that's actually part of my customer service is making like really finding what will work for them in their household. So it is, I sort of take charge as being the professional. So our area, not necessarily on a pregnant one, right? Like having to go shorter, we're about to have a baby. But our area, people are most certainly, it is the same metrics that were around 2008 as far as spending. So I'm starting to see people, and I actually just had a lady call up 2 weeks ago, and she hasn't been in since October. She lost her job. And I just said, she's like, I just want to keep it around that same price point. That was her whole thing, because we don't guarantee prices after 6 to 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, we don't guarantee it. But she has a little morky, and if we go shave it down, we're not going to go any higher. And I told her we most certainly will go ahead and work with you in your price range, because she felt horrible, like she's a horrible owner and a pet mom because she hasn't been able to afford. She lost her job, and it was the holidays and all the things. So I approach it with empathy and really help them feel comfortable. Always been a strong suit of mine, though. So my conversations typically go, there's a judgment-free zone here. We understand things happen. Things happen in my world, so it's fine.
Okay, Michelle, what about you?
We certainly do work with the clients. Our clients are long-term veterans of the salon. So if they're going through something, we've had people hurry up and rush and get there like 10 minutes late and say, "Oh my God, my husband's in the hospital, but I didn't want to miss the grooming appointment." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." He could have called
Right?
us, we would have rescheduled or done something.
Uh-huh.
But I was thinking too, in these times, I often look at other service-based businesses as well. And one of them is Massage Envy. They're kind of like what we do, we perform that service for a set fee for however many hours or whatever. And I thought, you know what? Why not offer them some kind of a package deal while they have the money? Make it worth their while, $5 off or whatever, and then discuss what that would look like, what that entails. And they can buy a 3-month or a 6 months or whatever, and then they can book. Or I've suggested this to somebody who was going to be on some kind of a disability to buy gift certificates for themselves. And they're good for 6 months or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know when I'll be able to get in, but I can afford to buy a chunk now. Give me 3 gift certificates, so that takes care of whatever. So those are 2 really solid things that I think you could do. And that money, of course, goes into the big kitty, and then the people get paid automatically for what they do with the work that they do. So those are 2 different things you could also do and take care of them while still getting paid, still getting the pet taken care of, still getting all those things that are needed.
Okay. Now, so I was mobile. So I was actually in people's homes. All right. So I think sometimes I knew a little bit better what was really going on in somebody's life. It was easier for me to figure that out. Okay. For example, I had a client who, if she just walked into the shop, this is what you would see. She would be pulling up in her Range Rover, wearing some really expensive jewelry, and handing you then a matted dog. Okay. What you didn't see is that this is somebody who really cared for her dogs. Right? She maintained them. She liked them in a cute, little longish puppy cut. But her son had a chronic medical condition, which necessitated going back and forth to doctors. Her father had cancer. Her brother-in-law had cancer. And she was the glue that was holding the family together. But you wouldn't know that, okay, if she's just walking into a shop and you're thinking, oh, this is just someone who doesn't take care of their dog. And I
Right.
will tell you, because I know her, is that she takes very good care of her dogs. So in that case, it wasn't the money, it was her time.
Mm-hmm.
And she was frazzled all the time. We simply changed the frequency of her appointments.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But if that would have been money, and I've had clients where, again, you know what? They have the Mercedes lease in their driveway and they're living in a big house and there's not a stick of furniture in their house.
Right.
Selling them,
Sold everything, right?
you know?
Mhm.
Trying
Well, and yeah, I just try to tell everyone because it's so easy and I see it all over social media and it drives me crazy for two things. Don't take it personal if they disappeared for a month or for a few months and may have nothing, it usually almost 100% of the time has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with what's going on in their world.
Right.
And you never know what anyone's going through. Like you don't know where their situation was or is. So it drives me crazy and it actually hurts my heart when I see, well, they pulled up in this and they can afford it. And that's not,
Yeah, you don't know what people can
you don't
afford.
know, right?
Right.
So, but along those lines, like cat grooming is really expensive, and we were having an influx about a year to 2 years ago of about a year and a half ago, where people were falling on harder times, spending tightened up for whatever reason. And another thing that you can do is come up with economic ways that they can still maintain their dogs or their cats. So we really started pushing brush outs.
Mm-hmm.
Is it ideal? No, but they can afford it more. And then that way, when it came to a full groom, and if it was really a full groom, we would have to do that. But like coming up with different ways that can make it more economically for them as well.
Okay. All right. So, what might be, like I said, I had really cute, fun names for the pregnancy thing. All right. What would you call that if you just knew somebody was on harder times and you wanted to say, hey, I've got this particular special, give it a name that's going to be non-judgmental. What would you think?
Mm.
Well, I would have to ask Claude that. Just saying. That would be a question for Claude. Sorry.
All right, hold on a second. We're doing some live. What do we call it?
New baby clip. It's just a new baby clip, and it could go for before or after. New baby's coming.
Hold on. What would you call a pet grooming clip that extends the time in between grooming for someone who let's just say has fallen on hard times,
And there's my business hack, everybody. I use AI a lot to help me when my brain is fried.
I think when people see AI, that could be a whole nother show, damn it.
It's a whole thing.
When people see AI, they think, oh, well, it's not your work. It most certainly is your work.
Mm-hmm.
It's unique. You're the one that's coming up with the prompts. You have to check it afterwards and make it your own. But it gives you a leg up, especially if you're very busy, you're a business owner.
Or neurodivergent.
Yeah. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time to write things out on a piece of paper with a pencil. Let's go.
So Claude has come up with 3 terms: a recession cut, a budget buzz, or a frugal trim. You like it?
I would prompt it. No, I would prompt it to make it not sound judgmental.
What it is first.
Okay. Make it non-judgmental.
And tell them what he is first. You have to tell them what they're doing first, and then they'll say
the prompt I put in: what would you call a pet grooming clip that extends the time in between grooming by going shorter for someone who has fallen on hard times? Is that enough?
And you can tell him he is a pet grooming assistant or an advisor.
Ooh, I like
Tell him
advisor.
he's a pet
Advisor will
grooming
prompt
advisor,
better.
so he'll know in what context to give you your.
You are a, hold on, pet grooming advisor.
I always forget that, Michelle.
That's the most important part.
It is. It is.
Make the previous.
And you want witty and calming. Those words are there too.
Oh, okay. Look at that. That is, I'm learning something that is witty and calm.
I took the course.
Well, I was going to say, so if anyone who's watching, I always put in what my core values are. So anything it spits out
Yes.
automatically does my core values.
Yes,
for my
and everything
business.
it spits out afterwards is that is the core value.
Yep.
Okay, so we got more ones. So you tell me. The low maintenance look, the freedom cut, the easy breezy.
I like easy breezy.
That one's fun.
Okay. The laid back trim, the fresh start.
Fresh start and easy breezy. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Because they
Yep.
seem like, oh, that's taking off my plate. You know, they're taking care of me. That's what it makes me like.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and I will have to say too, and maybe we should do a little bit more in depth on how we use AI.
Yeah.
I'll stick that in Claude.
Stick
When
it
I
in
come up with
class
our-
and we'll have
When I come up with our list.
come up with a list, and then we'll go over it while we're at Atlanta.
Yeah, I bet you use half the things that Claude can do.
Okay.
Claude in
Okay, so Kelsey says, for my clients who are expecting it, I've called it the one less thing to worry about clip. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. I
Anything that makes it sound like you're taking something off their plate and not judging
Right.
them for their situation. Like
I-
really, that's the whole.
the first time I used the phrase was the first time I used the phrase, you just had a baby and you're exhausted clip or cut was when Dad brought me the dog into the van, and this dog was always meticulously maintained. So it was done every 6 weeks. She wanted it a certain way. And he brings in this dog, all right, who looks like she had a really rough night.
Her name was Lola Clip.
And he's got bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
And I just look at him, and I go, and at first I go, no, what is she looking for? He goes, I don't know. I don't know what she wants. So I go, well, how about I've got a clip called You've Just Had a Baby and You're Exhausted Clip. And he looks at me and he gives me the 2 thumbs up after he hands me the dog. Go for it.
Yeah.
And that's how you build your rapport. That's how you stand out, and they don't want to go anywhere else or find anywhere else because you are
Absolutely.
working
They'll
with them.
And you make them feel like family. You know,
Correct.
you make them feel like it's good to go to you.
Mm-hmm. You got their back.
You got their back. All right. So anything else we want to talk? Oh, you have to leave. You said, Denise, you have to leave early today, right?
Yep, I had to leave a few minutes early. Dylan can be a few minutes late. It's not a big deal. I just had to go pick up my child from Scout, so
It's just my kid.
it's just, he's used to it. He's used to it. I already told him I may be a few minutes late, so I have like a minute or two. So
Okay. So anything then you want to add to this topic?
I do kind of want to add something, and maybe it's off topic, but I feel like it goes together with this. As we all see the financial drain on a lot of us, we feel it as groomers too sometimes because the dogs aren't booking right, or you didn't get full last Tuesday, or whatever. I see so many people copy the text of a complaint and just put it out there on social media. And it breaks my heart that you have to do that to your own clients. They're already having a hard time. You are the professional, and you have to be the anchor to which they cling, even if they're having a bad day. I've had clients that are long-term clients, and sometimes they break down and they'll yell at me, and they come right back and they're like, I am so sorry. I was going through so much. I don't know what came over me. You don't know what they're going through. It's not up to them to understand where you're coming from. It's up to you to understand where they're coming from because you stand in the place of a professional. It just breaks my heart that you would advertise somebody's angst over something You know, I wish it could be better. I want all of us to be better at that.
Mhm.
I think we should love them
Empathy,
up.
empathy is one of my core values for that reason, because you just never know. And honestly, we're in the service industry. And
Mhm.
I think we lose sight of that, or people lose sight of that.
Mhm.
And we are there to serve people. They
Mhm.
are our clients. Don't take that for granted.
All right. Just one thing that's not saying somebody is aggressive to you, is disrespectful to you,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Correct.
or the clients that we're talking about, it's not the once a year person that comes in, whose dog is or cat is an oversight.
Mhm.
What we're talking about is the clients that feed your business.
Absolutely. And
That respect it.
sometimes they need to get in.
Yeah.
And if you're just saying, sorry, it'll be 3 months. Sorry about you. Run along. There's something that can be done. Something that can be done. We're all not so busy and so booked because, you know, we're Godoy. You know, that we can't squoze somebody in for at least just a bath of nails and a foot trim.
Right.
You know, depending on the dog. If it's a wild Alaskan Malamute wolf mix, you know, I see that needs a special appointment. But for the most part, it's just these people with their little doodles and their little Maltese mixes and their little Shih Tzus. And sometimes something happened and little baby got into a mess and you just need to fix it. And those clients are worth working with. And not just, oh, well, you're out. Sorry you didn't call sooner. Well, sometimes you can't, you know, and just
Mhm.
love them up. Even if you can't get them in for 3 months, offer something, a brush out, a nail trim, a face trim, something. And that will get them by until you can fit them in. So,
Well, I'm going to peace out, guys, on that. Good insight, Michelle. You guys have a good evening. And Mary, I will see you on Thursday.
I will see you on Thursday.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So before we wrap up, all right, we still have a couple of minutes. So before we wrap up, all right, Denise and I will be at Atlanta Pet Fair, groomed, whatever you're calling it, doesn't matter. Okay. Pet first aid classes are already full. Okay. But I will be there. If you see me and you want to talk to me, find me. All right. Not that it's necessarily stands out that much, but I actually packed. I have a little tiara made out of amethyst, so I think that'll be easier to spot.
You can pick Mary out of a crowd most of the time.
Come talk to me. I will always talk to anyone. After that, okay, so we're in March. After that, April, Denise and I will be at the Pacific Northwest Grooming Conference. It's a new conference. It's more of a retreat than a conference. Okay? So 2 days, 16 hours of education, nothing overlapping. Do you know what we're starting our day off with, Michelle?
What?
We're doing a singing bowl meditation to start the day. I got my singing bowls.
I love that.
That are in, and it's because I can drive them.
Mm.
You know, I'm not ever going to fly with them, but I will drive them somewhere.
Are they crystal?
Yes, they are. Of course they're crystal. What else would they be?
I mean, they could be glass, they could be wood, they could be metal, they could be so many things. But if I know you, they're crystal.
And then Pet Pro Classic in June. It's the first time I'm going to be there, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm kind of excited about going.
Yeah. It's education heavy. Yeah, I love it.
It is very. I just look at it as very education heavy.
I'll be at RX Groom, and I'll be at Dallas.
Okay.
I'll be at both of those.
All right. Dallas meaning the Pet Pro Classic, or
yes, ma'am. I always just say, yeah, Dallas. You know what I'm talking about, but they don't a lot of times. They don't.
So Pet Pro Classic.
Yes.
We're staying at the Texarkana that Scott's putting us up at.
Yeah.
So I've heard really nice things about.
They're really cute. They're really cute.
Okay, so we can wrap up, and we will see everybody again. This is the 2nd and the 4th Tuesday of every month. So when we come back from Groomed, well, not that, but the following week. So in 2 weeks, everybody in
In 2
2 weeks.
weeks.